What is up, lads? It's CM9 here. That's it right there. That's it. That is it. That's what I mean right there. Remember what I said at the end of last video? It was the Spitfire versus the Mayhem video. A lot of you don't really care about Overwatch League, so for those of you that didn't see that video, I said specifically, Chelsea should take note. This is how you win games. Chelsea should take a leaf out of the London Spitfires book. You got to win with resilience and you got to win with mentality. That's what we saw tonight. That right there. 2-0 victory against Liverpool in the FA Cup. Clean sheet. Into the 6th round. That is the mentality I want to see. Where has this mentality gone? Where has it gone? Finally, it turned up tonight. It turned up from out of absolutely nowhere. Of all the blemishes and the boils that we have had to watch these last couple of weeks, suddenly the spark has turned up. Suddenly players have started to get up off their arse and start playing football and start playing for their careers. This is what I want to see, guys. There are certain individuals tonight that I want to pinpoint specifically, and these players need to start playing regularly now for the remainder of the season. So I'm so over the moon to be able to beat Liverpool in the FA Cup. I mean, if you remember a few months ago at the very early stage of the season, we did lose to them in the league. So this definitely makes up for it. To be able to keep a clean sheet, and we're going to talk about a specific goalkeeper that came back today, that he was away from the starting 11 for about 6 weeks. He came back. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring up the team sheet. So, yeah. I just want to remind everybody that what Lampard went with today. He went with a 4-3-3 formation. We had Kepa in goal. We had Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Kurt Zouma and Marcus Alonso as our defence. In the midfield, we had Ross Barkley, Billy Gilmour and Mateo Kovacic. The front three was Willian, Giroud and Pedro. Right, the goals. Willian scored in the first half with a strike, which stung the hands of Adrian for Liverpool. And it just waltzed its way into the corner. So it literally just handled it. It stung his hands and it just bounced off his hands and went into the corner. So that was 1-0. And then 2-0 came where Ross Barkley, where has he been? Let's be honest. We'll get on him in a moment. Ross Barkley runs in, does a little shimmy, gets past one of the players, the Liverpool defenders, and then just with his right foot just slots it, just bangs it into the bottom corner past Adrian to make it 2-0. This was a great evening for me. This was a really good game to watch. I was terrified at the beginning because I didn't know what to expect. I honestly thought Liverpool were just going to run away with it. Because, you know, Liverpool have been pretty flawless this season, to be honest. With the exception of their bizarre 3-0 defeat against Watford. Where the hell did that come from? But an almost flawless Liverpool. This mould that Frank Lampard brought out today against Liverpool with a 4-3-3. This is what he needs to base this team on. Because the players today, I'm going to pinpoint a few of them. Kepa in goal. What was said to him at the beginning of this game? Maybe it was the fact that he was away from the starting 11 for about a few weeks and Frank Lampard started playing Caballero. I think during that time, Kepa was like, I must have mentioned this a few weeks ago, in a few videos ago. I must have said, Kepa needs to go away out of the starting 11 and realise why he's been dropped. Tonight, Kepa was put into the first 11 today. The saves he pulled off in the first half, that triple save. Wow. Honestly, I was looking at it and thought, Kepa's back. Kepa's back. He's back in the starting 11. He needs to start regularly now. Like, that performance. Brilliant. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Kepa was brilliant today. Unbelievable. A few games ago, if you remember many games ago where Kepa just had real trouble commanding that area that he was at. When guys used to shoot from the corner or shoot from this side or shoot from that side, Kepa just hadn't got a clue. All he did was just let the ball go past him. Today, he was actually making those saves. He was actually commanding his area perfectly today. That's what I want to see from Kepa. I don't know if it's because he's been out of the starting 11 and realised where he's been going wrong and why he's been dropped. Now he's been put into the side and now Lampard has given him an opportunity and now he's making these saves. That's what I want to see from him. Or do you know what? I think maybe Lampard must have said to him, must have reassured him, look, I've dropped you for a few games. I still believe that you've got something in you. Now go on the pitch and show me what you can do. And that's exactly what Kepa's done today. He's given Lampard, he's given us fans, and more importantly, he's given Frank Lampard a reason to start him every week. And, you know, those saves that he was pulling off, and he got a clean sheet. What does that tell you? That's what I want to see from these guys. That's what I want to see. Brilliant. Defending was brilliant today. I thought, you know, there were a few shaky starts to the game. I think Rudiger, at the very, 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 very beginning, showed a few mistakes. You know, I think he gave the ball away, and I was thinking to myself, oh God, here we go. Because like the few times it was a very clumsy pass or something, just gave it straight to the Liverpool attack. And, well, that was it. I think maybe Liverpool was going to get maybe 2 or 3 goals. But prior to that, for about 80-90% of the game, the defence was rock solid. Absolutely rock solid. And actually, you know what? Speaking of Liverpool were pretty poor. I've got to be honest. Like, when you expect somebody like Liverpool to turn up and actually just dominate the game, they actually dominated the game for a few periods as well. When you think Liverpool are a prolific team, they've been scoring goals, they've been dominating teams, they've been absolutely abolishing few teams, and that's why they're top of the Premier League, right? They were poor tonight. They really were. In fact, there was a stat that I read while I was watching the game, and it baffled me. It confused me. I thought, how is that even possible? Liverpool hadn't had a shot on target since the 31st minute. What? And then it dawned on me, like, how on earth have Liverpool dominated the game, especially the second half? Like, the second half they dominated. They looked like they were going to, like, they were literally just passing the ball around just like Liverpool would normally do, just to dominate the game. But they weren't troubling Kepa very much at all. They were just taking shots, and they weren't even hitting the target at all. I don't know what was wrong. I don't know what was wrong with them or anything. Even when Mohamed Salah came on, didn't really do very much. Mohamed Salah did come on later on, but he didn't really do enough to change the game or anything like that. But it was actually baffling that Liverpool turned up and did absolutely poorly. And like I said, that stat, since the 31st minute, Liverpool didn't even have a shot on target. And that was weird, especially when Liverpool, I do believe, if we look at the stats... Yeah, we look at the stats. Liverpool had 14 shots on our goal, but only 5 went on target. And I think 3 of them came from that triple save from Kepa in the first half. Weird. That was surprising from Liverpool. And Liverpool had the most possession as well, according to this. So it really is baffling. Now we move on to the midfield. So Ross Barkley. We need to talk about Ross Barkley, because Ross Barkley is a very questionable one. Like, Ross Barkley, don't get me wrong, he had a brilliant game today. Really good game. He scored a wonderful goal in the second half. And, you know, that composure to be able to run through the middle, do a little shimmy, do a little feint, and then create some space for yourself and shoot the ball past the goalkeeper. Then you just think to yourself, why has he not been doing this all season? Where has this Ross Barkley come from? Did he just come from pre-season and then just decided to think, okay, I'm going to play against Liverpool today? Here I am. I'm going to play fantastic against Liverpool. Bang! Goal. Where has this Ross Barkley been? He's literally done nothing all season. Suddenly he's turned up tonight. Where has he come from? I don't know. But today, seriously though, Ross Barkley was fantastic today. He really was. That run and that finish, it just shows you that he can do it. He can terrorise defences. He can get goals. He can make a difference. So where has this Ross Barkley been? I don't know. I really don't know. Where has this guy been? Where was the Ross Barkley that, while he was under Sarri, was looking at videos and understanding how teams play and how, like, where has this Ross Barkley been? It's baffling. But tonight, though, really showed that he can actually do it. And and I want to see if Ross Barkley, because we've got a midfield problem, got a bit of a midfield crisis. If Ross Barkley has to play, if Frank Lampard has to rely on guys like Ross Barkley to perform, he needs to get a grip now. He needs to see this performance that he's done tonight, and he needs to continue this. He needs to continue playing like it for the remainder of the season. And I tell you, so if we can see this from Ross Barkley every week from now until the end of the season, I think we're going to definitely get something out of him. Billy Gilmour, this man, this guy. Unbelievable performance. Unbelievable. This lad, every single time this guy comes on the pitch, it puts a smile on my face. I've said this in a few videos. I've said this before. I've said it before. Every single time I see Billy Gilmour on the pitch, it's like, go on, lad. Do what you can do. Show us all Chelsea fans what you can do. Do you remember I said Glister is the hard carry for the London Spitfire? Billy Gilmour is the hard carry for Chelsea right now. This guy is the shining light on the season that we've had so far. I mean, we don't understand as Chelsea fans that we've had a bit of a mediocre season. Let's be honest. Overall, Billy Gilmour is the shining light. He is our future. He did everything today. He was man of the match, and for good reason. He got back, he protected the back four, he won the ball back, he got the ball forward, he passed with brilliant ease. It was like watching Iniesta play. He was noticing runners, he was passing the ball into space, played with absolute grace, and I love this kid. I love this kid. And even when Ross Barkley said at the interview, when he was interviewed at the end of the game, he said that this guy trains and he trains and he trains and he trains and he always wants to get better. And there's a reason why Frank Lampard decided he was going to put him in the first team. Because of that. Because of the way that he played today. And you can agree with me everyone can agree with me on this. Like I said before with this midfield crisis, we'll talk about Kovacic's injury in a moment. Jorginho is suspended for a couple of games, right? I don't know when Kante's going to be back. We're not too sure on Loftus-Cheek if he's ready yet. I mean, he's almost ready, but he's not quite ready, Loftus-Cheek. This is a big chance for Billy Gilmour to command that midfield and make that midfield his and show Lampard that he can really propel himself to become that guy, to be that ball distributor. Because he played alongside Jorginho today, just played like he was there for ages. He played like he was there for many, many years. The guy is just so elegant. He's so fresh. He's so beautiful. He put some fantastic balls in. He just runs with grace, and he wins when he wins the ball back. This was against Liverpool. This was like a 90-minute game against Liverpool. I don't want to be over dramatic. I don't want to be too ballsy with this guy. I mean, obviously this is only one game, but this is against Liverpool. This is not just against a small team. This is against Liverpool. I love this boy. I love him so much, Billy. Man of the match, and for good reason. I loved him today. Brilliant. Mateo Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic had to come off with an injury. A little bit worrying. I'm not sure exactly what he did. I think he got brought down, and although maybe he had the ball and he must have tripped up, or maybe he got fouled. I'm not sure what the situation was. But the result of it was he went down and he had to come off, and Mason Mount had to come on for him. I really hope what he's got, Kovacic, is not as bad as we think. If it's as bad as we think, and Kovacic has to miss out a few games, it's worrying. It really is, because Kovacic is literally our best player at the moment. But hey, we got Billy Gilmour, so it's okay. But no, seriously, Mateo Kovacic, it's a worrying factor that he had to come off in the way that he did. I hope that it's not serious what he's got. I hope it's not serious. I really hope that he can come back from this injury. I really hope so, because if he's got something serious, then he's going to have to miss a remainder of this season. We really need him. He's our best player. We can't not have him on the pitch. I mean, God. I mean, especially when we've got the games that we've got coming up. I mean, you got Bayern Munich. Well, who really cares about Bayern Munich? We're out of the Champions League anyway. Everton coming up, Aston Villa coming up, Man City. These are games we kind of need Kovacic to play, and now he's got this injury. It's disappointing, man. It really is. Willian had to come off as well with a... Look, I'm not really too sure. I can't remember, but he had to come off, and I think... that was it. So Willian had to come off, and Jorginho was brought on to play alongside Barkley and Gilmour. Kovacic obviously came on later on, and then Mason Mount had to be pushed further up. So... unfortunate for Kovacic, but when he was on the pitch, he did all right. It was okay. Olivier Giroud, he had a good game. Pretty damn good game, I've got to be honest. He linked up play. You can't ask for anything more for Olivier. He's a fantastic player. Really, really is. I like seeing Olivier Giroud up front. 10 times better than Batshuayi, let's be honest. And well, if we haven't got anybody like Tammy Abraham to lead the line, you've got to have Olivier Giroud. He hasn't disappointed. Since Lampard decided to keep him, despite his little fiasco during the January transfer window when we all thought, he was going to go. Since he decided to stay, he's done his bit. Olivier Giroud definitely has stepped up to the plate and he's doing his bit. He's doing his work. He should have scored today. And I was wanting to see him score today, Giroud, and unfortunately he didn't. But, when he was called upon, he did his bit. Pedro, it was all right. It was good. There was that one chance that he had to make it 3-0 when he literally, all he had to do, it was straight in on goal. It was behind the defence. All he had to do was slot it past the keeper and he completely messed it up. But apart from that, Pedro was okay. He was all right. It was not great. It was not bad. But he did his bit today. He did his defensive duties, especially his defensive duties. I thought he was fantastic defensively. But that chance he had, when he should have made it 3-0. God, you had one job, Pedro. All you got to do is slot it past the goalkeeper. I mean, the goal is big enough. The goal is big enough. All you got to do is put it away. Make it 3-0. Really rub it in Liverpool's noses. But, it was unfortunate that he didn't score that. But, no, to be honest with you, I can't argue with the performance today. Liverpool were just really, really bad. Let's be honest. In front of goal, you'd expect someone like Liverpool to turn up and actually give us a game and actually frighten us a little bit by scoring at least a goal, but they didn't even do it. They didn't even test Kepa that much, especially in the second half. Yes, they dominated the possession, and yes, they kept the ball, and yes, they sort of like gave us something to worry about outside the penalty box. But other than that, they didn't do anything in front of goal. They didn't even shoot on target. Like I said, they didn't get a shot on target since the 31st minute. Baffling. We're in a team like Liverpool that has taken the Premier League. Well, they've already champions, let's be honest. No one's going to chase. No one's going to... But yeah, despite losing against Watford in the weekend in the Premier League, no one's going to cash them. They've already got the Premier League. They're already champions. But with a team like them, they've got Sadio Mane. They've got Origi. They had Mohamed Salah to come on a little bit later on. They got Minamino, the Japanese guy. You'd expect them to at least get a goal. With that talent on the pitch. They didn't, so... Look, fantastic performance today. Billy Gilmour, just star man. Kepa, great saves, great clean sheet. I can't argue with this team today. That's what I want to see for the remainder of the season. Lampard has definitely worked it out. I mean, Alan Shearer on the BBC said he's still figuring out his team. He's still figuring out specific players that are good and some that are bad. Like I said, if it's going to take a few seasons to figure it out, then let him have that opportunity. This is what I was saying. Back Frank Lampard, because that's what he's got. If this is what he's got to work with, let him work with it. Let him figure things out. I hope things come to fruition, and I hope it does, but tonight's performance definitely shows that we actually do have it somewhere. And there are players on that pitch that do actually want to play for the shirt, and do actually want to play for the fans, and do actually want to push themselves. Billy Gilmour for one. Kepa, he's been out of the team for 6 weeks. He's back in, making those saves. What can I say? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Check out all of my social media links. They will also be in the description box down below. And check out the gaming channel, Chris Marder Games, if you're into gaming. And fabulous. Fabulous. I'm very happy today. Very, very happy. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. And until the next video, I shall see you later. Head on. And peace.